Good evening. Welcome to the regular Police Commission meeting of October 18th, 2022. Called the meeting to order at 7:02 on the township clock. Do we have any additions or deletions to the minutes or to the agenda?
None.
None.
No.
No, sir.
Okay, I have a motion to accept the agenda as published.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Cool. And I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the September 20th, 2022 regular Police Commission meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, let's move to the first action item. Chief, can you walk us through it?
How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Good.
The first action item is requesting the approval from the Police Commission to promote Officer Robert Piazza to Sergeant effective this meeting. I have some background history, if I can take a moment.
Sure.
Officer Piazza started with our department October 4th, 2016, so he's been here about 6 years. He's turned over 6th year this month. He's been on midnights most of his career, and in the last year on midnights, he has been the acting sergeant, shift supervisor, except for the last month, Sergeant Vasquez was there. But now that we switched to 12s, but for the last year, Officer Piazza has been the acting sergeant. He brings a good work ethic. He's always there to help. He always wants to chip in whatever he wants, whatever's needed to do, especially when I was on midnights with him for many years. And this is a great opportunity for him to learn and grow and then continue developing his leadership within the department. Succession planning. He'll be the third sergeant. So each platoon will have a sergeant and one will have a lieutenant. So this will finalize the command and control structure of the department.
Meaning that we now have a full complement of sergeants.
Correct.
Anyone else have anything to say?
Can I say something?
Well, that's why I asked.
Oh, I thought you meant the audience.
Anybody.
I just want to say congratulations to Robert. I hired Robert back, and where's the time gone? He one of the things that I know that I preach about is integrity, and I know that he is full of integrity. I believed in him in the beginning. That's why we picked him. And obviously, I mean, Doug been the chief, and we've had some other chiefs obviously since me that he's had to do an excellent job to get here. And that's pretty quick for 6 years. I have to say, I can't remember a patrolman becoming a sergeant in 6 years. That's excellent. And things fell right for him, but if he didn't do the job and didn't do it correctly and didn't have what he has, there could have been some issues, obviously, and there wasn't. So congratulations, Bob. And I call him Bob, if that's all right. I think he likes Robert better. All right. As long as you're promoted, don't worry. Thank you.
Anyone else have any comments? Did you want to say anything, Bob or Robert?
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited for this new stuff.
No?
After the vote, I was going to call him up and give him a certificate, and I have
Sure.
some of the sergeant stuff. So.
I understand.
Yep.
All right, so we have an action item. We've heard from the chief, we've heard from Joey, and we've heard from the sergeant. So can I have a motion to approve the promotion of Officer Robert Piazza to sergeant effective immediately?
Yep.
To approve.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, and once again, we're glad to have you.
So what I'm just presenting Sergeant Piazza with is a certificate for his promotion. And then
Yeah, feel free to come up here. Come on. You can come right around up in here if you'd like.
But smile for the camera.
I'm promoting, we're presenting Sergeant Piazza with a certificate of promotion. Take that wrong. And sergeant's badge, brand new. His first set of sergeant stripes, and his sergeant collar brass to go along with the whole kit there. So
Cool. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations, sir. You're still a man of few words, but that's good, though. That's all right.
don't forget to shake Jessica's hand.
Well, one question. Sergeant Piazza, you've been here 6 years. Are you glad you came?
Yes, I am. I left Wayne County for here, and I'll never look back.
Well, I can tell you from what we've heard, we're glad to have you. So I'm glad you're happy to be here.
Absolutely.
All right, Chief, do you want to move into the discussion items? First one being the life-saving presentation. Is this the time?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If I can have all
Take it
the
away.
participants come on up here.
A little preface of why they're up here.
Yep, I was going to read it to you.
Oh,
Read the
okay.
whole thing to you. Just want to get them so everybody can see who. So one of the officers, Corey King, was on vacation. This was planned a year ago, so he could not come tonight. So we have a fire EMT, Musia, Officer Blackman, Dispatcher White, and Officer Hurtado. That's who we have right now. I'm going to read the announcement for the award.
Make it loud for the people at home.
It's kind of long too, so bear with me. On August 17th, 2022, at 3:44 p.m., Groesville Police Department dispatcher Lane White received a 911 phone call. The caller stated her son had shallow breathing, was unresponsive, and may be overdosing. Dispatcher White kept calm, kept the caller on the phone, gave directions, and dispatched Groesville Police Department officers Corey King, Luis Hurtado, and Tyler Blackman to the residence. She then dispatched the Groesville Fire Department. Upon arrival, Officer Blackman determined that the victim wasn't breathing. Officer Blackman placed the victim on the ground and started CPR moments later. Officer King and Hurtado, along with Groesville Fire Department EMT Marino Musia, arrived on scene. Officer King deployed a Lucas device, and Officer Hurtado deployed the AED onto the victim. Both officers each issued the patient 1 dose of Narcan each. EMT Musia intubated the patient to clear his airway. After several moments of effort by the aforementioned first responders, a pulse was detected and the patient began to respond and regain consciousness. The Groesville Fire Department responded, provided additional care, and transported the patient to a local hospital. Because of their cooperative efforts of all the above members of the Groesville Police Department and the Groesville Fire Department, a life of an individual was saved. Police Chief Doug Carmack, Fire Chief Russ Boudry, and the Groesville Police Commission hereby award these life-saving commendations to Dispatcher Lane White, Officer Corey King, Officer Luis Hurtado, Officer Tyler Blackman, and Groesville Fire Department EMT Marino Musia for the professional conduct and the finest tradition of the Groesville Township Police and Fire Department. I was there that day, if I can kind of go, I was leaving work that day when I walked in the dispatch, and remind you, this is Lane's, Dispatcher White's second day off of training, so she's by herself for the second day. And we were talking about it, and then the 911 phone rang. I was in the dispatch with her. She kind of just said, I got this. I helped out the front desk. After a few minutes, I went to the scene and watched these officers all work together. They absolutely saved this individual's life. I interviewed the individual and the family the following week. That individual was not here today. He's still with us. He was unable to come today, but he is very grateful, and all the parties involved know that if it wasn't for these ladies and gentlemen, that individual would not have lived. So, from presenting each one of them a certificate for life-saving award. 10. And then, like I said, Officer Corey King was unable to make it today, so. If it wasn't for these guys, the team effort as first responders, I truly believe that person would not be here today, so.
Wonderful, the way they stepped up. And as you mentioned, Dispatcher White, correct? You know, she's relatively new to the force, as our Officer Hurtado and Blackman.
King are all
And
within
King. In
all
fact,
within
they're
a
all
year.
recent hires, and they fit right in, and they stepped up, and they did the job. And I'm not leaving you out, sir. I just don't know how long you've been in EMT.
How long have you been?
About 5 years.
About
2
5
years
years.
with this department.
So-
Great. And we've always had, you know, very professional EMT responses over all the years. They're all a very professional group, and I'm glad you guys stepped up. The community thanks you.
You guys want to talk, you can, or you can just,
I was going to say, anyone want to say anything?
I think it's required.
yeah. All right, thank you.
Start with thank you for the award. We appreciate it.
Very good.
That's for humble people.
They're all still on probation, all of them.
Great job.
Congratulations.
Great job. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
When I went to the residence and showed up when I saw
Hold
two-
on 1 second, then, yeah, give us a little more background on how, you know, your feelings are of the way the team.
when I showed up at the residence, two of the officers were coming out of the house. You can just see that they were pumped because they knew what they had done. They knew how they had helped that individual, and you could see that, you could see they were excited. And then we had a little group huddle after that in the driveway. Just wanted to hear what they had done, and they did a good job. And the firemen that had showed up afterwards later on concurred with everything they said. And interviewing the family members that were in the house watching them perform the task on their family member, they were all very grateful, and they know that it probably would not have made it if it wasn't for them. The Lucas, the AED, the Narcan, the whole system. So.
I mean, I know we've all said how thankful we are, but it's just impossible to really express, you know, when you save someone's life, how much the community and the family, you know, just appreciates that. Okay.
Any questions on item number one?
Before we leave the subject, anyone in the audience want to add anything to this? Okay.
So item number two is PowerPhone for patrol officers, and what PowerPhone is, it's a web-based platform for dispatch to be trained online for emergency management dispatch. In the past, we've only had the dispatchers use it, but our Secretary Hancock negotiated to where we could have all the officers be part of this program now for the same price, or actually for half the price that we were paying before for one. Now we have all the officers on the program. So what the benefit is from time to time, our officers will sit and relieve the dispatchers for lunch or for breaks or fill in for overtime on the desk. Now they have not exactly all the same training, but they have emergency medical dispatch training through these programs that gets us compliant with dispatch. So we're one of the few. I think we're one of the few, if not the only department. I'm not sure on that one downriver that has all their officers trained with that way. So we've never had that here before. So they had to take how many hours, countless hours of online training to get this. They're modules, and as you go, you get testing to keep going through the. So all of the road patrol has had that training. So.
Give us a little background on how the PowerPhone adds to our arsenal of tools.
Go to like I said, there's different modules. So one would be a dispatch, training them how to respond to a fire scene. One would maybe be how to work on a medical, and then it keeps going, it keeps building on that to where they keep training more and more, receiving more information to where they get online training to, when they're sitting on the desk, to help them handle the 911 phone calls of fire, of medical, or whatever the situation is, help them prepare better for that. So it's a system we've used for years, but we've never had the officers have access to it. Now we do. So we mandated that all the patrolmen complete this. So, all right. Any questions on that?
Anyone have a question up here?
Number 3 is crossing guard update, where hopefully we'll have our afternoon shift crossing guard start this Thursday for training, Thursday or Friday. And hopefully she will be able to take over the afternoon crossing guard. And then we have one that's going to start maybe next week. She's trying to fit in their schedule. They have to go through a 4-hour training block first before they can go through that process. So that's just the update on that. It's been very tough to fill that position. So, but as you guys know, or if you haven't heard, Officer John Ferguson retired last week after 25 years of service. Patrolman Greg Carrico will be going to his spot at DEA on November 5th. And why November 5th is we're sending John Canterbury to Pennsylvania for 2 weeks for DARE training. Now that we're on the platoons, if we sent Greg earlier, it could cause shift shortages. We haven't filled John's spot yet. So we're going to wait until Canterbury comes back. We've already worked it out with the DEA with their management. So we'll still get our portion of the seizures. So it's not for those 30 days. But any questions on that? All right. And then last Sunday, our department switched over to 12-hour shifts on the 16th. So now they're all on 12-hour shifts. They seem to be happy. They seem to be enjoying it. So we haven't had any problems yet. So we're still
Thing that was mutually agreed to
actually
during the negotiations.
questions on that. That's all I have for department updates.
Have any questions?
No.
Who's going to do the department?
Ken was, Deputy Chief Pelham was unable to make it today, so I'll take over that role. Did you all have an opportunity to review the monthly packet? Is there any questions?
Anything special in the complaint and arrest reports and the DB report?
No, if you look at the stats, this kind of ties into that for the arrest. It's just, you'll see on the self-initiated field activity, you'll see a rise in the arrest warrants, a warrant arrest for the month. That was based on 1 or 2 traffic stops where the driver had, individuals in the car all had a large amount of active warrants. That was I think Sergeant Counts and I believe another officer that did those 2 stops. So that's kind of that's why you see the significant rise for September for that category. And then it also ties into the misdemeanor arrest, for that month.
Do you have any, is it worthwhile going through truck that went through the house on Meridian as far as what the final findings were?
They're still working on that, but there's no, the driver was not determined to be under the influence of any activities. It just went off the road and unfortunately had that accident.
Homeowner is
There was an injury for one
recovering.
of the homeowners. Had an injury, but recovered. It's gonna be a while for the recovery.
That was unusual. Okay.
That was definitely unusual.
Anyone else have any questions on the monthly report?
I was just going to say quickly, the juvenile report with the inappropriate text messages. Kids need to be careful because Oakland County was charging kids criminally for sending inappropriate text messages. So just a message to our middle schooler and high schoolers and any other kids with cell phones, be careful what you send because in this case, luckily the parents took it upon themselves to discipline and educate their children, but in another county, it might have been a different situation. That's it.
Very good.
Any additional questions?
Nope.
I'm gonna, during the reserve report, I'm gonna take some pictures with Sergeant Piazza, so I'll be in the hallway.
That's fine.
All right. Thank you.
Good evening.
Captain, how you doing?
Good, how are you, sir?
Doing good.
Reserve report's September 2022, so reserve cadet hours, reserve hours 31 hours. September events, we had a call-in for obviously traffic accident that we covered on Meridian. And then we had the Groseal Police Department open house. And then for training, we had the American Red Cross CPR training on the 14th and on the 24th. We've had quite a few events that will be updated in October, but it shows some of them here, which was supporting the Groseal High School with homecoming and the homecoming parade, football, and a few other details with that. Paint the town red, and then we'll also have coming up on the 22nd the Halloween parade, and then trick or treat on Macomb Street. We'll also follow a couple other details that will be coming up. Is there'll be a trunk or treat at the high school along with a 5K run that will be coming up as well. So a few things that are coming up for us. Also some range that'll be coming up in November. So that's all I got for you guys. Any questions?
Have questions?
Yeah, how many are on the team right now?
So currently right now we still have 8. We have 4 that are going through background. And then last week we were able to interview 2 more individuals. So it looks like that they're working out pretty good. They're going to come through pretty good and interviewed very well. So
Perfect.
Good.
How are we doing cadet-wise?
cadet-wise, we are down to 1. So we are looking at discussing with Sergeant Vasquez on the reestablishment of the cadet.
What's
program.
the age group of that? I'm sorry, I forgot.
I believe
what-
it's I believe it goes up to 21 years old. So once they turn
So
21,
high school would be a prime
high school, junior high.
grab?
Yeah.
I mean, high school would be what you were kind of looking for?
Yeah.
Okay,
More ideal for us.
thanks.
Once again, the community thanks you for your time and your service.
Thank you very much.
That's all we can do right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, Joey, it's up to you.
For my liaison report, not much has really applicable to the police department except for the fact that we do have a new law firm. The firm is called Rosati and Schultz. And I believe that they started the day after we voted on them. That would be last Monday. And we met with the prosecutor. Doug and I had a meeting with the prosecutor, and I think she was very, very concerned about giving the correct service to the city and to the police department. And I think Doug was very happy with what he heard. And
Doug had expressed his feelings, I know,
Okay,
earlier
good.
on.
yeah, so I think things will work out. It's going to take them a while to get up to speed, with some of the cases, some of the issues. But I mean, that's really not a big deal. It isn't. So, but that's really basically the only thing that comes from the township board that's applicable to us. But again, I think that the police department is going to be happy with what they see and what they get, if you will, for service. And so,
other comments are required, but this is a positive step, I think.
Yes, and I was very impressed with the young lady, the prosecutor. She has 22 years' experience, so she's been doing it, you know what I mean? And it's, everybody's young to me, Scott, if you're looking at me like that.
Any
They're all-
any
they're all young.
comments from our resident lawyer, Scott?
I was gonna say 22 years is not young. She's been practicing quite a while, so she knows her business, I'm sure. So it's nice to have somebody, you know, who knows what they're doing. We don't have some young kid out of school, so.
And so you gentlemen know, there is no contract with consultants. And I'm not saying if it doesn't work out, we do it again. But if it doesn't work out, we do it again. It's pretty simple, but I think that Doug, I was happy that Doug was happy. And that's what's important, that this group, for the prosecution side, I'm saying, obviously for that. So that's it for tonight.
Very good.
Thank you.
You have any comments?
No.
Very good. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the monthly reports?
Motion.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're ready to open the excuse me, public comment. Robert, you have anything?
No, we're good. Thank you, Paul.
I see you chased everyone else out.
Congratulate Rob.
No, that was fine. Anyone else have any comments? Chief?
Yes, sir.
Jeff?
No.
Eric? Joe?
No, sir.
Scott?
No, it was nice to see all the officers here tonight. You know, it was very nice to have their families here, so
Well,
much appreciated.
I think it's outstanding. You know, they just joined the force. They were challenged with a very serious situation, and they performed like we'd hoped they would.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, we can't take credit for those officers, but we can at least thank ourselves for making some good selections, I think. So, hope it continues. All right, most important, Jessica. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned at 7:30 by the
Thank you, sir.